Hey there, Kingdom Purpose Pursuer. I am so glad you are tuning into my YouTube channel. For those of you who are new to me, I am Trasetta Alexander, faith-based business and productivity coach. And today I'm going to be sharing with you about guilt-free self-care. This topic was actually spawned by a conversation that I had with a former student of mine. For those of you who don't know, I, by day, am the Assistant Director of Outreach for the Florida State University College of Medicine. And in that role, one of the things that I do is work with our undergraduate students as a mentor and support for them. So we have programs that start in middle school and go all the way through to medical school. Our undergraduate students serve in our pre-college programs. So not they serve as mentors and role models and tutors to our pre-college students, but as they also have the ability to receive mentoring and support from the staff. And so a lot of times I end up with students in my office because life has gotten challenging or they're struggling, they just need a word of encouragement. Sometimes they just pop in to say hi. And so I develop relationships with the students over their 4 years as an undergrad at the Florida State University on a pre-med track. Well, today, one of my former students, who is now a second year medical student, she and were passing each other as I was on my way into the office a little late this morning because I was waiting on the repairman to come and check on our heating and air unit. And she was heading out for the day. And as I was just chatting with her, I was asking her, oh, how are, after we exchanged our pleasantries, I asked her, oh, how is the semester going? Where the semester is winding down, they're coming to a close. And she said, I'm just trying. She's like, Miss Tracy, they call me by my nickname, which is Tracy. She's like, Miss Tracy, I'm just trying to get through these last couple of weeks for the break. I'm tired. I'm really feeling. She said that she was waiting for winter break to come so that she could go home and just rest because she was just really tired, really burnt out from the semester. But then she also went on to say that she was talking to a classmate who was saying that they aren't even going to go home for the Christmas break. They're just going to stay here in town and study and prepare for the next semester. They have all these different tests that they have to take throughout their tenure as medical students. And so she said, as you know, she started feeling guilty when her classmate shared that she was not going to be going home for the winter break, that she was just going to take the entire break and study and prepare for the next semester. And you know what? And it got me to thinking that, I encouraged her to go ahead and do what she needed to do in order to be best prepared for the semester ahead when she returns back from winter break. And it got me to thinking this time of year, people get stressed out. So not only do we have our day-to-day obligations for our jobs or for our businesses and our families, but then we have the added stress and strain of the holidays. There's this pressure to buy gifts for all these different people in our lives. There's this pressure to attend all these events and parties, and you have um, gifts that you need to bring, you have food that you need to cook, and there's just so many things that are pulling on us. And then throw in the fact that maybe you are experiencing the holidays for the first time without a loved one, or maybe you lost a loved one around this time of year, and so your mind wanders back to that person every single year, and so it makes the holidays a little bittersweet. And so I wanted to share with you that it is okay for you to say no to some things. You have to recognize that your body needs rest. Your mind needs rest. And if you don't take the time to be still and listen to your body, allow your mind to be quieted, then what can happen is you can burn yourself out to the point where you end up either being really sick or even worse, end up in the hospital with some sort of major illness with where you've had a heart attack or you've had a stroke, and nobody wants that. What I shared with the student was that we are so focused as a society on working to rest. We are constantly going. It's like, I gotta get all this done so that I can't wait for the weekend to come. I'm working for the weekend so that when the weekend comes, it's my time and I can just chill out. And so we're constantly working to get to that place of rest. But if you can make a small mindset shift and start focusing on resting so that you can work. And I know that may sound like I'm saying the same thing, but it's completely something different. When you start looking at your rest as enabling you to be more efficient, more effective, more productive in your work, then you can value your rest rather than just kind of eking, trying to squeeze in one more thing so that you don't have to worry about it on the weekend. May not necessarily be great for your body. It may not necessarily be great for your mind. And a lot of times it's not great for your family life or for your relationships either. So don't be afraid to pull back or to dial back. No is a complete sentence. You can say no. You have the ability to say no to some of these events, some of these different obligations that people try to place on you. And most of the time, people will understand. And if they don't, oh well, they will get over it. There's this scripture in the Bible that says, "They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." Notice the progression there. There's a time of waiting. So there's a time of rest. So you rest first, you wait first, and then you fly, right? It says that you mount up on wings as eagles. So you fly, then you run, then you walk, and then you go back into that state of rest, which is totally opposite of what the world says. The world says, walk, you got to crawl before you walk, and then you got to walk before you run, and then you got to run before you can fly. But in God's system, in the kingdom system, you rest first. Then that rest gives you the energy to soar. It gives you the energy to fly. And as your energy wanes, then you start to run, and then you start to walk, and then you enter back into that cycle of rest. So when we are operating in the world system, we have to be reminded that God's system, that the kingdom system, the kingdom way tends to be opposite of what the world's way is. So we rest to work rather than working to rest. All right. So when you can look at your rest in that way, look at your rest as an investment in your productivity. Look at your rest as an investment in your future. Look at your rest as an investment in the person you want to show up as in your business, in your career, in your relationships. And when you look at it from that perspective, then you can unapologetically take time for yourself, take time to rest, restore, rejuvenate, refresh, so that you can then show up in your best state. And when you can show up in your best state, then everyone can appreciate that. So, this holiday season and beyond, I want you to focus on resting to work rather than working to rest. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. And if you would do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss another video. And like I always say, you got this. and God has you. I love you and I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.